Hello.
All right. Alora. So, hey, we're live. Welcome to Dacathon Part 2, where we're basically going to talk about what it's going to take to DAC the world, DAO the world. Just take every government and corporate structure on the planet and turn it into software. And then we'll strap AI to it and all live in the uplift on universal basic income because the robots are going to do all the work. And, well, I should say, EOS USA Michael's bots will be doing all the work because it's almost true now, I guess. So anyway, you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go make more coffee because I clearly need it. I'll be right back.
We're pretty good. We're pretty good with beginnings and endings. You know, Corey and I have found this groove whereby he usually goes on some kind of little talk at the beginning, and I try to chop us out. But I must say that was maybe one of our best beginnings yet. Michael just popping on the screen and saying hello. I think that should be a thing. We're gonna have to put it on there. So I think we've got a few other people joining us today. Well, maybe Lisa, is that true? Maybe one or two other people. Might join.
I think Clay is getting ready for the show today. But he's invited him, and but he's still playing invited. Around. However, I just invited him, so
okay, great, cool. Yeah, so it's been crazy busy
getting things ready for the day.
Yeah,
well, our hosts are especially busy right now. I know Greg has been preparing for this afternoon, and I'm not sure if Michael slept last night. When I went to sleep, he was still working, and when I woke up, he's still working. Yeah, everyone's getting ready for the big event.
It's a crazy time. So thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, so let's plug that while we wait. That's always a good place to start while we wait for the gratitudes. But yeah, so the Uplift World first ever land key sale is upon us, I believe, in about 2 hours.
2 hours and 54 minutes and 35 seconds.
Oh God, I gotta go move some wax.
But who's counting?
And so this will be. There was a post that was flying out and about and around. There'll be some community plot areas now, like Krown, for example. Like Krown has their own special section called Krownlandia in the game. Now that's kind of out in a different area, right? But EOS USA Michael is in there with EOS USA and his giant, awesome, amazing roller coaster. There's Boyd and Blockbase and Jenner EOS that have all done some pretty cool builds on the surface, below the ocean, up in the depths of the sky, depending upon where you're looking. Some really cool, innovative stuff, and we're in the process right now of moving the community clusters into the new format. As Corey mentioned, we've redeveloped this, and so there will be little pieces of land mixed in with these community clusters, so you'll be able to look out the window and see an awesome mountain that's made of rainbow bricks, or watch a pig rocking around on a roller coaster.
He combed his hair even.
If they just so happen to wander in there, because the animals are the best part about the whole Uplift world, because they just go over that wherever the heck they want. I mean, but yeah, that's a story for a different time.
And there's more than one. I found one on somebody else's land. Somebody built a bouncing pig. Would you call it that?
Well, this is the thing. Lisa, I think, was legitimately concerned last week that somebody had put a pig on the roller coaster, and I was like, no. In Minecraft, the animals just wander onto. So I shot a video the other day of a rail car going down a long stretch of rail with a dog, where just looking happy as a dog would look, riding along with his head out the window. So it just happens.
Well, you did better than me, because I shot a cow the other day, literally in the game, because he was blocking my view of the waterfall, and I didn't know how to get him out.
Don't tell Lisa that.
Hey man, I'm a permaculturalist. I commend people for their organic efforts and stuff, right? But just because something is organic doesn't mean that it's good. I think there's a time and a place for these sorts of discussions, and I'm not going to put anyone down, right? I was a vegetarian and vegan for a while, but I'm not anymore. So yeah, fair enough. But we all kind of
really. I don't know many people that have gone from vegetarian back to eating meat. Most people,
mostly ones that have had my barbecue.
There you go. All of Greg's friends.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all about sustainability, right, and design and things like that, which is, one of the things that I really like about the Uplift. And if you're going to be a cow and you're going to be dumb enough to get yourself stuck in a really cool, water feature that I put there, and I can't get you out of it, then, I'm just going to pack the steak into the little pouch that I carry around in the game. I'm sorry, Lisa. How are you today?
Traumatized now.
Yeah.
It's really an interesting discussion because, Crownlandia, it aims to be an ideal town. Like, if you could do anything in the whole wide world, what would you do in your town? And so things like enslaving villagers doesn't seem like a natural thing.
Here's the don'ts.
We've decided to call it forced friendship.
There you go.
Wow, that's better. Yeah, no. It's three squares and a roof, dude.
We build them houses and everything.
No.
Dark.
Whatever you call it, it's not ideal. Whatever you call it, it's not ideal. Now the meat thing is a different issue. I think the meat thing is a different issue. I feel that is more of a personal preference, and there's some question about sentience, like in on Earth. Are you killing something or harming something that's aware of it? That's a whole discussion. In Minecraft, we don't have that, right? And I understand that the cow is not sentient.
We have game economics. That's a very strong contention point.
It's a digital cow, yeah. So it's like NFT, but still, I like when people are encouraged to think and talk about these issues because we're really building another world. We're putting another world together in there, and it's how do we want it, right? Like, we actually get to, do we really want murder pits? Or maybe we do want murder pits because it makes us think about it, because it makes us explore these ideas. And I'm talking about from like a philosophical, academic perspective, which when planning and strategizing is helpful, to consider. So, anyway,
I don't think you understand how dark computer nerds get.
I'm so going to Wood Steak Grill, by the way, Greg. So please.
Yeah, that's listen. This afternoon, you're gonna get a sneak peek of it because Sue Fletcher Gentry, Sue FG in the game. She is our director of tourism in Chicken Ka, and she created a really awesome little tour video of Wood Steak and the winery and all that stuff. So we're going to show that this afternoon. The topic this afternoon being how to get people to engage on your land, how to get people to come to your land and wander around and interesting things to do. And EOS USA Michael is now the king of that mechanic. And Sue FG made an amazing, funny little video about touring and concerts and things on her property. So yeah, definitely Wood Steak Grill is in the offing for this afternoon, Jimmy.
And before we put this to rest, I just want to say, here's my take, because you touched my debate side, so I'm just going to throw this out there. I never really thought about it until just now, but I'm all for enslaving villagers, and here's why. We are in the Uplift creating this whole new world where people are going in there with like massive amounts of creativity. They're walking around, they're designing things, they're building things, they're making like interesting, sensual experiences that are based in art, based in like music, based in like creativity, based in getting together. The villagers that the game randomly generates are pretty much like every major city during rush hour on Earth. They go from point A to point B, and they don't think, they don't act, they don't do things. I really like that paradigm of having like the most creative, explosive, land, based piece on the planet that, has these people that are just walking from point A to point B. Don't those colorful images look so much more bright as backdrops to art when you've got like a villager that's like not even looking at them, just walking by? Doesn't it make that all the more special? Just a point for ponderance. Everything's all about perspective. There can be no beautiful if there can be no, beautiful if there is no ugliness in the world, right? And so I think it's a nice juxtaposition from my personal perspective.
And let me, as someone who's been doing this a while in this world, let me tell you that villages generate naturally, villagers generate naturally in the game, but they can wander off into holes and die, right? They can get killed by hostile mob.
Find one in like a lava pit the other day.
Yeah, they can just like pop out of a lava pit.
So hear me out. The village that I have on my 1K Pirate Cove, I actually built a 3-high fence, a wall all the way around it, to keep them safe, because if they wander off and they all die and your village gets depopulated, there is no way to repopulate that village.
Oh, there's a way.
Yes, there is a way. But we that's in our deep distant past. You can learn about it in the historic quarter over there by the original cathedral. But you see my point. Like you say you think it's cruel, but the thing is, villagers have actions in the game, Jimmy. They can trade with you, right? You can trade them materials for emeralds, or emeralds for materials. So they have their own in-game economy, and the more you trade with them, the better the trades get for you. So enchantment books that make your tools and weapons better come from certain villagers that you've traded up to that level, and so you're incentivized to interact with the villagers in this game, and that's like a whole really cool, interesting level. At Chicken Ka, we're going to have villagers. We're going to have villagers interspersed with the actual player plots that we're going to eventually be able to sell there. So there will be a blacksmith, and there will be a butcher, and there will be a shepherd, and there will be NPCs wandering around in our population centers in Chicken Ka. That's our plan.
I can't wait for the day where I'm like, hey, Greg, you want to come hang out like on my land? And you send me back a message that says, no, man, sorry, I'm busy. I'm taking the villagers for a walk.
Wait, they walk themselves in the game.
That's it. But they will walk right into a big hole or a cave.
Comment from Jin R. Villagers hold an actual schedule, work, selling, word, gossip, and then sleep. You cannot put villagers on a lead. You cannot put villagers on a lead. Too close to slavery. Yeah, I like it. But the 9-to-5 job that we all work, that we're all trying to escape the rat race, that's a lead. That's what they've been doing to us. So like we're here, we're in this world that we can just have fun with, and that's awesome. I'm just happy that I'm not a villager. That's all I'm gonna say.
At least we don't murder llamas like Corey did that time.
Just cats.
Well, okay, for the record, I didn't successfully murder any cats, but I was going to mass murder those fuckers, which didn't work. Just for the record, like I was prepared for catricide, and it didn't work, but I did willfully kill a llama. Sorry. It was funny though.
Llama started it.
The llama did start it. So Greg and I, so the way I don't feel super good about it, but it was the llama's fault.
He made me do it.
Right? Like Greg and I were building the llama deserted. We were building the
Let me pose this question.
All right.
Well, I kind of want to hear the story.
Imagine that we're making. Oh, go ahead. Finish. Sorry, if you had more.
No, Lisa, go ahead. We'll wait for you.
I'm just saying, imagine if we're building this world, and what if it turns out the world we end up living in someday, right? For whatever reason, Earth goes away, or we can't go in the environment, and we're living in this world. So we're creating this new world where we're going to live, right? I don't know why, but I end up thinking about it quite a bit that way, right? So we have a chance to say, well, what do we want to put in that world? What do we want to put in that Earth, right? And then what if the villagers are robots? They're like robots, right? But later they're like, they look like us, they act like us, because we've come so far in our Ready Player One technology, right? Yeah, I know, right? Well, every day Corey says Ready Player One, Ready Player One.
I kind of want to be the judge of this.
Corey,
can I have the story so that I can decide if I would, massacre the llama in that situation if that was my real world?
Yeah, I'll tell the story. We were building the DNA strand monument. We built one of the first things after the cathedral. Corey built this path, and on the path there's a massive model of a hydrogen atom, and then there's a DNA strand, and then there's an amoeba. We were sort of going to show the evolution of life on Earth and our thoughts about that life, because there's little signs that describe each of those. So in building the giant DNA strand, we were still in survival mode and having to climb up on this thing and we were way high up, and 4 or 5 times this llama bumped Corey off, and he died. Like he fell to his death, and you lose all your stuff. You have to like regenerate and get it. So after, I guess, the 3rd or 4th time the llama got up there, he was bumping Corey, and Corey just turned around and shoved him off the DNA strand. And we have a video clip of it. It's just, no.
Oh man, I probably would have done it the 2nd time. I wouldn't have waited for 4 times.
He was very patient.
That's kindness, Corey. That's very, very, very kind.
Yeah, I absolutely love Llama 666's comment. No, no killing llamas. So.
I think there was a great.
What
I had a lot of fun there, but sorry. I was just gonna say, I think we gotta.
Sorry, I have like a 15-second delay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think we got to get to the gratitudes, but like while we do that, maybe you can say what you wanted to say, Lisa.
Well, I could imagine a time in the future, if we are living in that world, it probably wouldn't take very long, where we figure out how to make the robots sentient, right? Where they can think and feel, and it appears that they're just like us. And so at that point, do you still want to kill them?
Well, nobody wants to kill villagers.
Yeah, I want them to be my friend.
Or animals, or robots of any type.
Oh, I mean, I like bacon, so there might be some pig.
I mean, you know.
And he's not even Canadian.
Nope.
Well, you're just.
I
Lisa,
mean,
you're describing Asimov's evolution of robots as, as getting more human over time, and humans getting more robotic over time. That's a basic part of Asimov's ideas about robots. And it's interesting to me that right now there is a discussion in the sci-fi world about that the way Asimov treated robots in his books is sort of an apologetic, a slavery apology, like an apologist. I don't know, I'm wording that wrong, but basically they are slaves in the Asimov stories. They represent slavery, right. And our moral struggle with how to treat them is exactly the same as the struggle that we had with human slavery. So I get the argument, but these are digital 8-bit NPCs that are programmed to do a certain set of things in the game, and I think we're maybe a little way down the road from having to think of them as people.
Yeah, and let me just pose this to you as well, because this is something I'm interested in. It's completely off topic from this world, but here's the deal, right? Like, right, we go to the supermarket, we go to these places, we buy organic, we buy things that like we're free range, right? But this is label only, right? And we have no problem, tilling the earth, flipping things over. But do you know what the internet of the earth is? The internet of the earth is the mycelial network that runs beneath the surface. And this network is basically, a better internet than the internet. If you look at it like under the right conditions, it looks like the synapses that are firing your brain. It looks like what happens when a star explodes, like implodes upon itself. These are the same sort of basic, ideas that are kind of reverberating, through that. So every time you eat a cucumber or a piece of corn, you've essentially, from one of these, mass-produced farms that don't, engage in this, you've essentially, ripped the soul out of the earth in order to, sustain yourself. And here's the thing: why this network, this mycelial network, is so brilliant is there's evidence that a tree or a flower can reach through the roots, through this mycelial network, and bring in nutrients from 2 to 3 to 4 miles away, right? So what are you defining as sentient, right? Like a pig that walks and moves and gets in your way, or something that we just don't see that's there, right? So I think what you bring up, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Jimmy, did you touch in that they're coordinating and they're basically working as a community, right? So like the older ones get protected, the younger ones are basically getting nutrients to to different areas or weaker areas or whatever, right? And there are like central node trees that act almost like a repository of some of the intelligence that actually gets distributed throughout the network. So it's a big effing deal, right?
Yeah.
Slime molds too. We're learning that slime molds have some pretty cooperative strategies. Yeah.
What's IQ? And you've all seen the cow playing with the giant red ball, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm a a vegetarian now, which happened, right? I still eat meat every once in a while, but like that, that's the thing we all have to justify in our own way, because there's some sentience there that is real. And like, you know, the conversation I had with Lisa about it is that it's only a matter of time before, you know, EOS USA Michael decides to put a little bit more AI in our NPCs, whether it's on the Minecraft layer or on the, you know, Uplift 2.0 layer that might be coming a lot sooner than anyone thought, right? So like that, I think that's inevitable. And so, you know, the way that we treat them is the way that the AIs who are going to be creating massive simulations to, you know, decide what kind of weather there's going to be on Wednesday, but they're going to simulate a whole universe just for the hell of it, will then decide whether or not they should turn it off. So maybe we should be a little cool about it. I'm just saying Lisa's got a point. Except for that llama. Fuck that llama. Just want to throw that out there right now.
You know what?
I'm not trying.
Sorry, that's a really good point about the AI. And I'll take this opportunity to leak that I think next year's Dacathon is going to be Dacathon AI.
Ew.
But you bring up a really good point. Yeah, so that thing you're talking about is about a year from now. But that is a really good point, that the AI will look at how we have treated other sentient beings or other beings in general and potentially treat us the same way. In our future world, we may become villagers.
Well, and there's a strong case that if there is intelligent life forms that like could actually communicate with us like on other planets that have found us, probably part of the reason that we don't know they're there is because they think that we are like absolutely ridiculously like so less evolved that they don't want anything to do with us. They're just basically watching us to make sure that like, you know, we don't implode anything more than our own basic planet. So like your kind of general idea, I think, is not wrong, right? Like, you know, and this like Michael like Michael said earlier, you know, there's been countless movies about this, and Greg, you know, countless books about this, and I think it's a really interesting, I think it's a really interesting parallel when you look at governance, right? When you look at like who determines governance, right? Like, can you imagine if like somehow the trees were all smarter than us and they figured out how to govern us, how much of a different world it would be, right? Like, would it be better? Would it be worse? I don't know. I mean, you know, how many callings come in sci-fi movies from like, you know, robots who have no emotion that call us because we're overtly emotional and we don't treat others with respect. I mean, it's just crazy, right? So, but yeah, I really relish these kind of debates. This is like kind of my stomping ground when I'm free of, you know, constraints. But yeah, I really think that was fun to think about, and I like the idea of doing an AI-centric Dacathon. That seems awesome to me.
By the way, the reason I'm cheering when you said about the mycelium layer is because my like biggest work goal in my life is to create an internet out of the plant. And once upon a time, I thought of doing this in a very proprietary way. But lately, I've been thinking about doing this in a much more open way. I mean, you know, one may lose billions of dollars, but it would spread out to the public. So I'm thinking we should do it, because I'm 100% certain we can do it. Maybe Michael can figure out how to do it for us. But it's exactly what you're talking about. The plants have this layer of being able to talk to each other and energy and all the things that we try to mimic in the technology world to cause digits or photons or electrons or whatever you're trying to deal with, you know, to show up in certain places. And it's all right there.
Are you suggesting making mycelial organisms beasts of burden?
Oh shit!
What, Star Trek Discovery? I mean, that was
no. That was a smackdown. I just want to say that, like, oh, we can't enslave NPCs, but you can make that mycelium your bitch.
Oh,
okay, cool.
No.
I mean, is it consensual? Do we know that the mycelium is okay with this? Just saying.
I'm pretty sure that's where I got the idea.
Oh, right. I see your NPC market, and I raise you an enslaved mycelial network. I mean, that's pretty good. I like it.
On that note, Corey, I'm grateful for mycelium.
Nice.
How did we get to this point of the conversation?
It's weird,
but I am here for
enslaving
it.
mycelium.
Can you guys make sure I spell this right? Is it Mycelium? Yeah.
Yes, you got it. Nailed it. First try.
Google.
I had to think about that way too hard. Like way too hard.
I know.
Yeah, me too. I
All right, who's next?
I'm grateful for Martian bullshipples,
Amen to that.
which might require explanation, but yeah, Marty did an amazing thing for us last night, and I mean us, Chicken Cost specifically, but in a much bigger sense for all of us. He's set an amazing example for us over the last few days, and we're excited. You guys are going to be excited when you hear about what Marty is doing with us.
I'm not even sure if I know about that, but I'll just say, if you don't know Marty, go hang out in the Uplift Telegram channel.
Yeah.
Like that guy's awesome. His memes are rocking. Like everything he does is brilliant.
Yeah, he's really cool.
We've known Marty for a few years through Corey's venture into creating a coin called Shipple, and he was part of the Shipple community and the meme lord. He and Sue Fletcher were like the king and queen of memery in that community, and it was big. We had a lot of stuff going on, and he waited. He found out what we were doing, and he showed back up like 2 weeks ago. And we're like, we're getting the band back together. It was kind of a cool moment.
So good.
So I don't know if I want to lay that out now or wait till later in the day and tease it now. What do you think, Corey? What do you think, Jimmy? Should we?
I need more gratitude. So
okay, we'll wait. Yep.
And shout out to Dwayne, by the way, who's in the comments. Mycelium is the nervous system of the universe. We love you, Dwayne. You're awesome.
I'm grateful for new opportunities.
Love it. I do this first.
Every time we do a show with you is a new opportunity. It's brilliant.
It's every single day. Every time I talk to you, there's a new opportunity. It's Lisa's fault.
Love it. Yeah, love it. It's all. Oh, damn it! Now look what you started. You started a mycelium enslavement network. Now he's already thinking about it.
Not again.
Oh man, I love these people.
You know what's really funny? I just realized I'm holding my little baby Yoda.
Because
whoa, that's a different show. Is
that what the kids are calling it these days?
All right, anyway.
This is not the way, Corey.
I mean, it's way. All right. Who are we missing?
Lisa,
I got
maybe Lisa.
Yep.
And yourself.
Yeah.
I did mine already.
Am I allowed to do two?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I'm really debating. Because obviously, I want to say hashtag Dacathon Gaming. Dacathon is in all caps. Sorry.
Okay. Are you grateful for that?
Are you grateful for a hashtag? That would work.
I am very.
Right.
It's the name of the event. It's the event.
Yeah.
But what it really means is that the family all gets together, and that's really, it's the Dacathon Gaming family, if you want to say, or community. But I think I put the Dacathon community last time. But this event has brought about so many good opportunities, relationships, connections, helping people do what they want to be doing. Like, it's so many great things are happening because of it. So I have to put that at the top of the list. But also on my heart at the moment is being grateful for photons, which is, since we're talking about it especially, is one of my very favorite topics in the whole wide world. And it is how the uplift world is being displayed through photons, how we see it, how we interact with it. So, my beloved photons, thank you much.
I like it.
Is there a proton in the uplift, Corey?
What do you mean?
Like there's DNA strands, there's like...
Oh, that's interesting. And so I don't think we would do a proton or a photon, sorry, necessarily. But like a display, like an ode to light itself is something that I think we could probably get some people in on and do some things that are just bonkers.
Ooh,
right?
I could build a dark side of the moon pyramid prism.
Well, that's the thing. That there's all sorts of different things that kind of cut the light differently in different shaders and that kind of thing, right? And last night, Greg and I were in game briefly, And Jen, the Banksy of the Uplift, has made this like shockingly colorful town, right? And she's lit it up in an amazing way. And so like I was just off the ocean, off the Decahedron over there a little bit, and just the way the shaders work, all the lights in the town and everything were like reflecting off the water and like bouncing off my computer screen and smashing me in the face. And this is, to Lisa's point, this light that's bouncing around is giving us a real sense of place and proximity and beauty. And, that's a big fucking deal. So thank you for that.
Just so you know, you and Greg see a whole lot more different protons or photons than Lisa and I see in our non-shaded world. What is the reflection on water you speak of?
Right, exactly. No, it's a big deal. And I think we got to do like a quick primer on, getting Optifine, and here's like the top 5 or 10 shaders or whatever. Cause you can actually get the shaders running on computers that, are like 4 years old. My other one, I mean, I was doing all the Cathedral stuff with that, and it looked pretty good, right? Not quite as good as this, but
it's just you can't do that and 4 other things with the computing power that we have. Like it's very hard to stream at that resolution and record it and interview people and all that.
Right. So yeah, I'm grateful for Soda.finance and the entire Southeast Asia market that is coming to the Uplift soon.
We are more than halfway around this cathedral in placing gratitudes.
Almost 3/4.
I look on that wall and I see my name like 4 or 5 times on the same wall.
Yeah.
Well,
you're around a lot.
Yeah, you're here like every day this week, so that's not surprising.
That's true. There'll be a lot more.
And you're here for good reason. Don't forget that.
So Corey, what are we gonna do when we get all the way around the circle? We're gonna just start another row inside that one, or
like it would spiral in is sort of how I was thinking about it, right? Like
it makes sense.
And what's interesting too is like we get to here, and because of the fact that we've left this forest in there, which I didn't like for a while, but I think I'm back to liking it. So we can go in from there, and then it'll sort of be implied, right? And then I'll probably put one. Hold on, Jimmy. I gotta get through this thought for crying out loud. No problem. I'll put one there, and then I think we probably won't put anything along this path, right? And then we'll maybe put another one there, and then make this. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
No, I
then it'll be like a V coming out. That's okay.
I was just gonna say, like, I mean, now that you left that forest in there, if you cut that down, you might have a mutiny on your hands. I don't know.
Yeah, seriously, Lisa's gonna start busting my balls for chopping trees down in the Uplift now. Jesus.
Creative mode solves that problem.
I promise to grow more trees than we chop down. How about that?
Yeah, well, that's true.
It's a Canadian. Actually, the first thing I did, I felt really bad about it too. But Greg's like, "Don't worry, you can replant it." And I'm like, "Oh, philosophical discussion and dilemma."
See, Greg showed me how to whack a block, and I started mass deforestation.
Yeah, no one's shocked. And I love the fact that you're like the archetypical American. just saying,
go big or go home.
Clear cut.
Well, yeah, exactly. Go big or go home, and like enslave whatever needs enslaving. Oops.
Yeah.
But pitch it in a way that no, I'm doing you I'm doing you good. This is for your
own
benefit.
Right. Yeah, no, you're gonna get meals and like a house and things. It's
That's right.
Fine.
You gotta civilize things. Sure.
You gotta civilize things.
So Corey, Corey, are these the scaffolding that you used to build the cathedral?
That is correct.
That's pretty awesome.
And I built it in survival, so like I died a bunch of times building this.
Yeah, Corey placed all this block by block, and I would come and watch him. That was exciting, but no, he just put this up. It was his private project, and I think what was happening was that was when it was taking over in his head what this whole world could be, because we were just fucking around playing in Minecraft is what we were doing, and Corey was over here chunka and having thoughts, and it's paid off in a big way. It's paid off in a big way.
That's a monument. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's that's actually kind of true. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was gonna say that's a monumental process. I think building that and the second monumental process might be tonight, because I think this is the first time I ever seen Corey walk in the game.
Yeah, right. I just wanted to, and this is the thing I wanted to show everyone. Like, that, you know, there's a lot of things that you can't do in the cathedral, right? Like I love that this moves anyway. But one of them
makes sound too. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. But you can walk around anywhere. So anyone, this is like a secret, right? You're going to be able to get to the top of the dome. And someday when we have the functionality, there's going to be a sign up here you can punch, and it's going to knock out an NFT that said like, "Oh, I came to the uplift and climbed to the top of the cathedral, and all I got was this stupid NFT." Like, I want to do that so bad, but I also kind of want to do that everywhere. We were talking, Mike, USA, and I were talking about how like he's doing that kind of thing on the inside of the Statue of Liberty. And
come on, there's several of them that I'm hoping to do. So
yeah, right. I think that this is going to be like, kind of one of the first little simple functionalities, but they're going to be really fun, right? Like I want one of those NFTs that I just climb to the top of the cathedral, and like anyone's going to be able to do that, and it sort of adds like a really fun thing. I was also like building this thing so you could walk all the way around up the side on the side, but then I stopped because we started getting crazy. And then you can do this. Whee! Sploosh.
Honestly, like that was really awesome. Like I'm gonna go there even before I can get all I got was this shitty NFT badge, because like it looks like it really.
Sorry, I totally just jumped on you. I apologize. Right, if you take a selfie up there, so F5 gets you to where it's pointing at you. Take a selfie from the top of that. I'll mint them and start sending them out now, because fuck it, that sounds fun.
So Corey, I know you think you're special, but Ginny just teleported over to where I am in the game and dropped something at my feet, and I picked it up. It's a tiny Bigfoot head.
Oh
yeah, I have a Bigfoot.
Oh.
So there.
That's awesome. Are you gonna make a little display for it like I did at my house?
Probably. Yeah, I don't have a house right now until my pirate cove gets moved, which is going to happen eventually. So, no big deal. Why are you breaking all the lily pads?
You know what kind of sold me on the uplift is way back before, it was pretty big, and it was pretty fun, and it was pretty cool. But like, I actually almost thought about writing this the other day, but I thought, maybe I'll say it in the show sometime, because I think it makes more sense to say it here. But I wasn't planning on like holding it. It's just coming up now. Way back in the day, Corey and I, we didn't have a guest one time, and we jumped in, and Corey was in the boat, and he was just kind of like rowing around and exploring new lands, and checking out what was happening. And it was a kind of like really relaxing and really surreal. Look at that. There's an animal somewhere that animal shouldn't be. And I was thinking about this, and it's funny because like when Corey and I, we first started this channel, we first started the show, right? Like we didn't have a plan to like, have it as the like uplift kind of show, right? Like it was just us, and we did this thing once a week, and then we thought, we're going to do it more. And we kind of ported it over from the old channel. And Corey said, Jimmy, this is what I want to do. I want to like take everyone into the uplift at the beginning of every show, and I want them to do a gratitude. And I said to him, I said, well, I know you really like Minecraft and stuff, and that's all okay. It's really good, but I'm a little bit worried because like everyone might not want to like geek out like that. And he's like, all right, but just trust me. Like, just trust me for like 1 week, and just like, let's see how it goes. Like, let's just do it for 1 week, right? And we had like a really high profile week of like some really awesome guests, right? I think I lasted like 28 hours before I like said, you're totally like 100% right. Like this needs to be a thing. This was like way back when this channel first started. And so like, I think like that for me, that's like a really iconic moment, but like seeing, like just walking to the top of that cathedral and seeing, after being in the game, being a complete and utter noob and seeing it, building even with creative mode. Sorry, Anders, it's got to be done. And like with creative mode, building what I'm building, but still laying every single block, at a time,
right?
Like, one by one, even if I'm, spawning them. It's still one hell of an endeavor. And it's like, it's such a learning curve that we're on, but it's just amazing that like, you know, something like that can come out of survival mode. And some of the things that are coming out of like creative mode and stuff are amazing as well. But I just think that's like an accomplishment worth celebrating. You know, the fact that Corey decided to say, Jimmy, I really want to do this, even though this is what we didn't plan to do. Like, it worked out really well, I think, just for the, you know, emotional value of like our guests on the show. Like, we really like doing it. Like, I was a little bit, you know, I'm not pissy today, but I was a little bit annoyed that we didn't get to the gratitudes in the first 5 minutes. Like, I'm kind of like, come on, we got to get these done. We got to set the record straight, right?
Yeah, Corey, put a piece of wheat in your hand, and he will follow you.
Are you showing us how to? Are you showing us how to enslave the sheep? Corey?
No, I'm literally saving this sheep for Lisa. Like, that's my game plan right now.
Wheat. It's got to be wheat. So
I noticed that.
It's like a Corey was here sign. Oh, gee, there's a whole bunch of sea lanterns here.
Yep.
See the food tab in the bottom?
Yeah, I didn't see the wheat though.
Oh,
it's red.
See, that's why I search for everything.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I'm the same way, man. Like, yeah, I don't know what half this stuff does.
Nailed it.
You can search for it. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Is there a way to create your own enchantments? I'd really like to see an enchantment that, like, when somebody pulls it out, it lands them in like Maiko's like perpetual roller coaster machine.
There is not.
Transform it out of the world. So yeah, I think this is like really interesting, like these enchantments and you know what they can give you and stuff like that. But like I think we're gonna have to get some tutorials, you know, on how to play the game going again. That's some really good camera work you got going on there, Corey.
Thanks. I was going backwards. It's hard
work.
No, I wasn't taking the piss. I was being 100% honest. Actually,
I was definitely taking a swipe.
So if you just scroll off of the wheat to something else in your toolbar, he'll stop following you.
I want to get him. I want to get him.
Still
to
saving him.
Yeah.
Well, it's a giant swamp biome, so that's gonna be a little.
Yeah, but it's not bad over here. Like, we can figure this out.
Well, I kind of want to know how the hell he got over there in the first place.
They spawn in randomly on a tiny piece of land, and then they walk off into the water.
Yeah,
it happens, and it's not human cruelty. They're just digital little animals. So
no, they're friends again.
Nobody has to put them on the roller coaster.
I think you totally need a selfie of that. Like,
you know what? If you feed each of those sheep, Corey,
yeah,
you know what'll happen?
More sheep.
They'll make a baby sheep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to get into like freaking crazy stuff.
Animal husbandry.
Hello.
So Lisa, we were actually supposed to have a couple other people on the.
He ran away.
They're so cute. They're adorable. So fun. I mean, we could watch this forever, really.
Whack 'em.
I mean, you know, watching building is just as fun as building in many ways, you know? Like, I could sit here and watch forever. Anyway, to get back to your question, Jimmy, yeah. So today's theme of the show, believe it or not, is the host. And several of us are hosting Dacathon events in a very decentralized way and streaming out to various YouTube channels. So obviously we're on the Uplifters channel, and this afternoon session will be with Greg and streamed to the Uplifters channel. And speaking of, there he is in his snazzy tux. And EOS USA has been great in offering to help with the morning sessions, and Michael will be hosting those, and he and Clay will be streaming those out to the EOS USA channel, I believe. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct. Hopefully.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, and I think it's tomorrow or later in the schedule. Anders, maybe it's next week. Anders has a session he's going to be streaming to, and then of course Max has several sessions, including Hackathon, that'll be streaming to the Krown Dacathon YouTube channel. So we've got our first day of sessions today. And I'll just pull up the schedule here so I can go over with you what's happening.
Hey, Corey, teleport over.
It's a very exciting day. So in 2 hours and 15 minutes, we'll start the sessions, and we're going to have the founders of Alien Worlds with us. And we are, as MetaDAC, giving them an award, a special award for their leadership in decentralized autonomous communities and proof of concept in gaming using the EOSIO wax chain. So we're going to have our first fireside chat, and Michael is going to host and MC, and they're going to tell us about the history of the team and of Alien Worlds. And we'll have a chance to ask questions and explore things. And as Corey's mentioned many times, they've inspired many of us, all of us, actually, in many ways to do games, to create NFTs, to think about what to do. I even created a card game after thinking about what could be done, which thankfully Michael is automating the rewards for, because it's almost impossible to do manually. But this is where we all get to learn, and so it's super inspirational. And then we have at noon Pacific a discussion time, and this will happen every day, where it's just open forum. Anyone can come in and chat about anything related to DACs or gaming or the events, and just network and talk with each other. And then, like I mentioned this afternoon, Greg is going to get into a very popular topic, which is what are all the engagement opportunities in Minecraft? So some of us who are more business-minded from our background, who maybe don't play Minecraft or understand it, have all these ideas of what we think could be. But Greg is going to tell us really what could be.
Well, and that's the thing is,
be helpful for us.
I've been thinking about how to talk about that in a bigger context, and like, you can't do everything in a Minecraft world, but there are analogs for a lot of things. You can sort of repurpose in your mind some things that are in Minecraft that aren't in other parts of the world. But like, I'm super impressed by people that live in a place and they find a guitar and they only manage to find 2 strings. They put 2 strings on a guitar, and they make amazing music with only 2 strings on the guitar, right? So the minimalist idea that the Minecraft world is absolutely limited, that's true. But watching what people do within those limits is my favorite thing about the Minecraft universe. That making machines, making economies, making enormous glass domes, while risking falling off or being knocked off by llamas. That's cool stuff, man. That's and Jack White, who I really admire, he talks about, he feels like every gig he plays, he's got to get in a fight. Like, he puts his keyboard 2 steps too far from his guitar because he wants to struggle to create. And I don't feel that, but I see it. I see how it works for him. And I do like the fact that sometimes you have to struggle and punch a llama right in the face to get something done in the Minecraft world. So I want to talk a lot about that today with some of the creators. So yeah.
Awesome.
We're going to do that. Also, we're going to talk about how to...
After that,
Sorry, we're going to talk about how to get people on your
Greg.
land and keep them there. When we talk about engaging the players, how to get them to come visit your place and keep them there. Why would they want to come back more than once? It's pretty, but what's going to keep them coming back to it? So I think that's going to be an interesting conversation.
Hey, Greg, could you climb up here?
Right
and
after that, then we'll have a... Oh, sorry, Corey. One last
Lisa,
thing on
there's
the
just a little delay. Go ahead.
At the last... Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry. I know. I trust me, if I could improve my internet, I would. There's literally no way on the planet to do it, but every day, like 5 people ask me to and offer to pay for it. But we'll work on that. Anyway, but the last session, which Greg flows right from Greg's, is the community cluster. So anyone who's in the community cluster who wants to share their project or talk about it, they can come on and interact. And I imagine Greg will be able to teleport around and share some of those with us. So With that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Max, is my mic better now? I don't know why the gain was up that high. It never happens. So
it could go down a little bit more, but it's better.
There we go. That should do it. Nice picture.
Yeah. You want to look up there, buddy? There you go.
Yeah.
Say cheese, motherfuckers. That's good stuff. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm minting an NFT today.
Nice.
Yes.
Sadly, only Greg is going to get one because he's the only one who climbed up.
Nice.
And also, I changed your gamer mode, so be careful.
Oh, you did.
It's got real.
It's a long way walk back to EOS USA land.
No, it's not. It's a quick jump.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
That's true. Yeah, you could drop right through the middle and do pretty well. And by do pretty well, I mean die.
Yeah, well, I think it's been a week or so since I got sniped while I was riding the roller coaster. So.
Sorry, not sorry.
Let's see what I'm up to. Statistics, rails, distance by minecart, 665 kilometers.
Ooh, Christ.
Hey, Corey, there's a question in the comments. Will there ever be a wax tax on property in the uplift?
Wax tax.
You're going to have a problem doing that because you can't exactly take it from them. So,
I mean, my first instinct is to just say no because, we need to figure out how to keep the lights on. I've been having this conversation a lot. We want to keep the lights on in Chicken Cough, for example, for 1,000 years. Right? Like that's the I want to have that timeline in mind when we do this. And I think like money won't be super relevant then, but whatever, right? We'll figure it out.
The AI llamas will have eaten us all by then or driven us into slavery. So
here's hoping. But so again, the rewards pool is super important, but on the flip side of that, keeping the lights on is also really important, right? So we've got a bunch of different ways to fill the rewards pool so that it actually grows, not shrinks, with the rewards that we're sending out to people. That's really important to us. We've been thinking about that a lot, right? So the easiest thing to do is the secondary market sales that go on, and there actually have been a bunch. There's been close to 500,000 wax in secondary market sales just off this first little iteration, which is non-trivial. So half of that is going into the rewards pool and half of that is going into the Keep the Lights On fund, right? And I think that's probably going to be the way we do it in perpetuity. And now tack onto that, companies like the Uplift Tour Guide are giving a meaningful percentage of their revenue into the rewards pool, and that's awesome. But even like all the art stuff that we plan on doing, NFTs that are limited edition. We're going to do a big rail building competition. The 3 winners are going to, earn some rail plot NFTs. But as well, we're going to turn their build into like a video shoot 360 NFT that's going to be like a 1 of 21 collectible, right? And we'll put those out for sale and for auction. And the way that's going to work is, 50% is going to go to keeping the lights on, 25% to the rewards pool, and 25% is going to go to the artist because, you know how many wins you need to have, Greg?
Win.
You need 3 wins. So there you go. Boom, shakalaka, right? And I missed. We're taking some off the top for Uplift Donate whenever we do that stuff as well. So that's kind of what we're thinking. Like having the tax. I know some other games have done that, but we think that there will be enough ways to sort of keep a small, cup in the water as the boat goes by, so to speak, to make sure that we keep the lights on. And from a revenue perspective, I sort of feel like we're going to have that hammered out with the land sales. And there's going to be like, different kind of upgrades and different things that we're going to be able to provide as well. So right now, we haven't even talked about the need for a tax, and there's 1,000 different ways that we can do it where we're providing value for something instead. And I would much prefer to go in that direction. Hopefully that answers your question.
I completely agree with that. And I have a virtual coffee shop for those who don't know. I think everyone seems to know, but we give rewards for people who stop in instead of charging them for coffee, which of course is a lot easier when it's digital coffee than physical coffee. But it's a proof of concept of rewarding people for their time instead of charging them and taking from them when they may or may not have it to take. And so far, this has created some very cheerful experiences, and I'm looking forward to experimenting with the same concept in the Uplift world too.
Corey was getting too serious, so I needed to throw eggs at him.
That seems to be the case. Like every time I start trying to answer something seriously, I get chicken bombed.
I finally made it down the dome without dying. So, do I earn an NFT for going down?
That's what she said.
That's a different show there, mate.
What a beautiful place we've built.
Yeah.
Especially that beacon in the center.
Yeah, the beacon's the one, obviously.
It's a very lovely display of photons, Greg.
So, did you guys catch that? That's the water elevator up to the top of this part of the dome. All you got to do to get down. Whoa! Punk.
One of my favorite comments actually was like Greg in the channel, a few days ago, and he's like, "Hint, hint. I urge you all who are, planning on being, in the survival areas to make sure that you, are wary of your water elevator heights." I was like, that's pretty funny. I never even thought about it.
Yeah, it's like going to be like Jurassic Park in there. People are going to get in that water elevator is too tall and drown and die. You want to re-inspect the elevator.
Would that be a death column instead of a death pit?
Yeah, pretty much. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. There's lots of things that are designed for creative mode that are going to be problematic in survival mode. So we'll see how it goes.
Problematic, fun.
I also think fun because, I would look at the water elevator in, say, the Empire State Building and go, I'm not sure I'm getting in there.
That'd be on our land.
And there's a way to make it work. You basically make an air gap in the middle, so before they run out of bubbles and start taking damage, they can get a breath of air and recharge. But yeah.
On the flip side of that, if you really need to go to service and you don't have a bed set up, it's a quick way to get back to the cathedral.
Yep.
That's a good point, because last week I tried to get there and I was flying for at least an hour and I never did get there. Of course, I didn't realize I was able to teleport, but that's another issue. So I highly recommend that consider that if it doesn't harm you in any other way.
Oh man, I walked for like an hour and a half along the train tracks before they were finished. It took me forever to swim to the train tracks. Finally, I got to the train tracks, and then there was a big gap missing, and I'm like, okay, I guess I just go figure out a way to get over. And I went over, and there was no more getting back up. So I just let myself die and came back to the cathedral and pondered the meaning of existence for a while.
Yeah, there are boats right at the cathedral. You could have just jumped in a boat and rowed yourself there. But
yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, Minecraft is a harsh environment.
We're gonna need a starters guide. Once it's all in survival mode, or once it's you have to deal with those things, we're gonna have to do some training videos or
Well, I guess it won't all be in survival mode. I think certain servers are gonna be able to decide one way or the other. Is that right, Corey?
Yes.
we might need a new show on this channel called a commentary show on this channel. The day in the life of a noob.
Well, yeah, I think that's a really good idea, noob experiences or whatever. You know what's funny too? I've had so many people like, "Oh, have you guys like done like an AMA yet?" I'm like, "Fucking Monday through Monday." Like, what are you talking about?
Every day, yeah. Every day is AMA day.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it, by the way. Thank you guys for like the amount of energy that people are bringing to this, and the curiosity, and the and just like the amount of creativity that's about to get unleashed. I just, I have actually a huge problem answering these questions all day because I want to do it, and now like I'm starting to have to kind of delegate that a little bit because it's eating my life. But it just know that I'm really, really grateful for everybody's interest and curiosity. By the way, like upliftworld.community, which is a site that Lisa and the Krown team built, which is awesome in capital letters. There's a right up close to the top now. There's a spot where you can actually put in ideas. And I've been meaning to put that together for a long time, and so I put that form together, and Lisa graciously put it up on that site, so anyone can access it. Throw your Wax account in there, because chances are you're going to be up for. Sorry, I'm just looking at what's going on in the game here. You're going to be up for like a little NFT, obviously something at least. If we use your idea, we want to make sure that we know who to celebrate. And there's tons of ideas coming in there, so that I think. Even if you're wondering about, what's the deal with the tax or whatever, like I think that kind of thing would be good for ideas that go in there. And I think, we were talking about doing a roadmap chat pretty soon, Lisa. I think like it's just go through the ideas, and because there's tons of them, and like I've obviously got in my head sort of where we're headed this year, next year as a possibilities. But then to go through, like, what does the community want? What's the vibe? What's the genius of our collective sort of brain power? So I think that might be kind of a fun way to do it.
We do have that on the schedule to do roadmap discussions, and so that will be a perfect time to do that. We have a lot. I am so excited too. We have so many people that have come forward and said, "Hey, I want to show my project. Can we give an update about our DAC?" And those requests are still coming in as people hear about the event. And that's part of the reason it's so great that it's over 2 weeks, is we have plenty of time to do that. People can come and go. And we're trying to get everything recorded so that those who can't, for work reasons or any other technological reasons, be able to join on.
Can I just say that I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed in the accommodations you guys have provided in this year's Dacathon. I mean, the maid has not been in here in at least 4 days. It's very disappointing.
That's because somebody lured her away to another village.
It ain't Acapulco, but it's warm.
I have not received a request for a housekeeper.
Housekeeping has not been in. I don't know what's going on in this hotel. Yeah.
It almost seems like a challenge, and I do know an app where I could send you someone, so beware if someone knocks on your door. But
I'm sure Laugh Track
anyway,
would not complain either. So.
Yeah, for the record, I could probably automate that.
Hackathon. Oh, Michael, that's on for sure. If you can automate housekeeping, I keep saying to Michael, just take my bank account information and take whatever you need, because that would be like at the top of the list.
The real question is,
I just want to remind you.
The question is what?
Housekeeper what?
If you trust the housekeeper he sends. There might be some explaining Greg has to do to his girlfriend.
I'd go for the top shelf. I mean,
yeah.
What is the French maid duster or whatever? Right?
She'd be over here in 5 minutes. So don't worry about that. Anyway.
Yeah,
I made it weird.
You might end up with Bitcoin miners in your basement, though. So you might hear, what is that sound? Oh,
look
at that.
That's cute. We don't have.
Now downstairs.
We're in Florida. We don't have basements. We're like 3 p.m.
Trust me, you don't have Bitcoin miners either. It's way too hot down there.
Way too hot. Yep. See, there you go. There's the lurker right there. She says no explanation needed if she visits me too. That's my girl. So there you go. Threaten us with a good time.
On that note, I want to remind you too, but when you register, it's supporting the prize pool, and it is also allowing us to get your address and everything, so we can send you some gifts throughout the event. So be sure to register at Dacathon.com. And fees should never be a barrier to joining. So if you're struggling with the fees, if you don't happen to have a wallet with them in, please mention in the group. And hopefully someone will jump in and send in the fees for you to Very Dacathon and send you the transaction receipt to add to your registration form. And Dwayne started this last year with me, and I've passed it on and registered, I think, 6 people. So if anyone else wants to jump in and spread the love, if someone needs help, please do that in the group. And we will be seeing you in less than 2 hours for the kickoff of the sessions and the awards for Alien Worlds, and a whole morning, our time full of discussion. So hope you all can come. Dacathon.com has the schedule link, and all of the Zoom and YouTube links will be linked on there. They'll be put on just before. So when you go to that spreadsheet, you'll notice there's like 1 million people in it, but that's where you'll get your links and find out where the next thing is. So we're super duper informal. So please, you're welcome to come jump in the conversation. You might think you don't have any experience or knowledge, but your ideas and thoughts are just as valuable as anyone's. So please, come be a part of the community, hang out with us, and have a great week or 2 weeks.
Yeah. So,
all right.
And thank you guys so much for having us on the show every day. We really
definitely check out. No, we're so happy to have you, actually, and and we're so happy to be the kind of once a daily show that you guys are coming onto and informing the community, and check the schedule, and if you're out there in the audience, just make sure that you tune into this show and one other every single day of the week, and we're all good, we're all sorted, we're all solid. But yeah, I think it's awesome what you guys are doing, and go back and watch yesterday's kickoff episode. If you want a little bit more information on the history of the Dacathon as well, we had June and Dwayne and Max joined us as well to kind of give a background in history. And as Dwayne pointed out, 2 or 3 times, and you want to register, because if you register, you'll be eligible for some of the NFTs that are going to be flying around, some of the gifts that are going to be flying around, some of the things that are coming out of the community. So. Look that up. You didn't cover the donation part for people who can't register. I really like that. That's awesome. If you're out there and you're listening, please don't abuse the system, because remember, part of what we stand for on this channel and in this community is from a long time ago. Even before I was here, even before this channel existed, the collision of uplift art and the uplift world has just basically come about through good people and people, wanting to do better things. And we've attracted a lot of goodness because of it. And we've done a lot of amazing things because of it. And I just want to shout out a thank you to all of the people who, over the last 12 hours were in the community Telegram channel that have been helping other people understand what's going on with the upcoming token sale. For you guys, I'm sure that you see it as well, but most of our team is based in North America. Most of our team has the North American sector covered. But when we get over the Asian area to the Australian area, Vietnam, these are all Japan, China, countries that are still following what's going on here. And, it takes a community to build a village, right? And this is a really important aspect for us. So thank you, everyone. Who's participating in not only this channel, but all of the endeavors that we're working on that are coming in, and we joke around a lot, but that are coming in and building things with gratitude and creative philanthropy in mind, because this is kind of the basis of where we're from and what we love and what we do. And I know Krown's a very community-centric organization that's always been there for the community. So it speaks to me that there is an avenue for those people that might not be able to participate, because there are in the world. So just be good people and let the karma, Let the karma. That's not PG-13, James. Let the karma do good things to you in the end. So, Greg, do you have anything else, or Michael, or Lisa, do you have anything else to say? I think we're gonna wrap this up. We'll be here all week. I think we're probably gonna skip because there are a lot of other things on this show that happen beyond mine and Corey's show. Like at this time every day, but I think this week we're gonna probably skip the the weekly roundup where we go through all the shows, just because we'll be doing Dacathon stuff. But go through the threads, and I think you already got the rundown on what's up for next for Greg and for Michael. But if you guys want to add anything to add, if not, I guess we'll see you guys all tomorrow.
Yep, no, I'm good. We're all set here. I got stuff I got to do. I've got people from outside the crypto world who have got FOMO, so I have to make sure that they have their Wax accounts all set to try and buy some land in the uplift today, and a big announcement coming during the 1 o'clock thing that we're doing this afternoon. So see you guys in a little while. Karate chop.
See you guys.
Oh, I guess I got to hit the button. There it is.